Hello and welcome to another episode of MOPO, where we discuss matters of personal opinion. It's all MOPO. And today we're going to be talking about Gotham episode 7, season 3.
A Mad World.
A Mad World.
Or Mad City, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Mad World's a song, right? Good episode.
Yeah, very Jim Gordon driven, I think.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. We have a bit more insight as to who he is and just more questions also. But we start the episode off where Valerie Vale is in the hospital still. You know, she's got shot up in the stomach. And, you know, she is, right off the bat, wise to Gordon's reverse psychology move where it's like, oh no, he killed you or he shot you because, you know, I love you. And she's like, get out of here with your nonsense. You knew he was going to shoot me. You know,
and it's like,
I'm not stupid. I know what you did.
So when she got shot, her heart was also being broken at the same time because she knew when she, you know, he said that, she like, oh, and then she got shot. So it's like insult to injury.
Right?
And whatnot. Like, how do you heal the heart?
So, yeah, it not looking good for him. She's
all like, oh, you love Lee, and that means we're done, sucker.
Oh, did?
She said that means we're done. She didn't call him a sucker. That's, you know, what I felt like.
I mean, rightfully so, though. If somebody gets me shot, listen, I'm just seriously evaluating my association with you.
Right.
But
if she's all asking for booze and whatnot, like,
well, that's because she goes, oh, you get a girl shot and you won't even bring me booze because she wanted some whiskey.
Some whiskey.
But, you know,
typical reporter.
He didn't have it, and that's when she's like,
you don't love me.
You don't love me. I know your games. From there, we pick back up with Tetch, the Mad Hatter, basically. He's like trying to buy drugs from the dude from Beekman's World.
It was Beekman.
That shit was Beekman. And he ends up acquiring an accelerant that he's trying to mix with his sister's blood to speed up the effects.
He's all yelling, he's like, I got a drug, but it takes a few weeks for it to work. So that's when dude's like, yeah, I got this accelerant. But then he also sees on the table, like, something got, like, a red queen card on it. Like
and, you know, he's Alice in Wonderland kind of guy, so everything like that associates with it.
Yeah, and he took it just naturally knowing he uses, dude, man's all like, oh, that's a torn-up drug right there, like, fries your brain, or whatever.
That's every psychotropic mixed together. It'll make you trip out for hours and then crash your brain.
Yeah, and Tetch freaking uses it on him.
And you see it coming from a mile away.
Dude man's all stupid. He must... I hold that he was torn up on some of his own drugs.
Yeah, because he was all in Tetch's face.
Yeah, like, he's a weird dude, and any normal person would have seen that shit coming.
Yeah, as soon as he opened it up, I'm like, well, there goes this guy. Like, he's done. But, so Tetch is devising a plan to go in and steal his sister's body. And he does just that. Like, he goes in. We find out later that he bribes a guard by just, like, tossing him money and being like, hey, you're off today. You know, the typical bad guy, I got in the side door for $300.
You know, toss, normal dude, $200 and, make him feel like you won't get in trouble. You know, a bunch of people are going to do that.
You know you don't got a job the next day. There's no way in hell you're going to argue that it's like, oh, you know.
You got to assume, like, So yeah, Dude Man was pretty stupid.
I mean, but at the same time, if you try to keep your job, you are likely going to die. So it's, you know, like, I'll take the no job because...
At least I got a severance package from this dude.
You hope. Oh.
I mean, $200.
Oh, alright, well, that's a hell of a severance package. Yeah, so he's stealing the body so he can drain...
Harvest the blood.
Yeah, harvest her blood.
Her frozen-ass blood, so you gotta heat her up first.
Yeah, so he makes comment how he's like, oh, gravity and a couple heaters.
This dude's all kinds of gross.
And very, very twisted. Mad, even.
That's the mad... but they haven't called him that yet.
Yeah, I think that's not going to happen until... I think Batman's the one who gives him all these nicknames, isn't he?
I don't know. The writers of Batman comics.
Well, yeah, literally. But, I mean, maybe some news
I don't think Batman's
papers.
a funny dude like that. He'd be like coming up with nicknames for motherfuckers.
Well, he's got to call him something.
No, it's the Gotham Gazette or whatever making up the names for these villains.
Or you think the villains themselves?
Or maybe the villains themselves.
You think Tetch is calling himself the Mad Hatter?
Calling up Vicky Vale and I'm like, call me the Riddler. The Diddler? No, the Riddler. With an R.
With an R. Yeah, so... Yeah, he's stealing the blood. And while this is all going on, we got the captain's getting kind of concerned for his own situation.
Yeah, so
he's like, "Oh, the body's missing. We got to find it. We got to be working on a cure. Oh, it's going to take a couple years. Well, we only got a couple hours." Kind of like because he stole the body, not because it's coursing through my veins right now.
Under the illusion of worrying about the city, he is trying to protect his ass.
Oh, and if we didn't mention, the thing that he blew in Beekman's face was called the Red Queen. Did we say that?
We said
we did say that?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, and also they do kind of a cut to Lee and Mario at the hospital, where it's like, you know...
Yeah,
Mario's not happy that
he said to kill
Gordon
you?
still has feelings. Yeah.
And then, okay, so he went for the other girl to get shot, so that means he still loves you? And that's where Gordon walks up with this bottle of liquor for Vale, and he's all like,
Yeah, because in Mario's mind, it's either you love my fiancé, or you wanted my fiancé to die, and neither one of those are okay in my book.
Exactly. And that's when, Gordon rolls up. Luckily, he got that bottle of liquor for Vale or whatever, but I don't see why he would be allowed to give that to her in the hospital.
Yeah, it doesn't seem appropriate.
So then Gordon sees Tetch in the hall of the hospital and chases him down, like the fire escape, and like he's just leading them on and giving them all kinds of like rhymes and riddles, and he lures them into I guess just like a storeroom or something.
It seems like it was like the cellar room or like the bottom
basement or something, but he gets Gordon with the Red Queen.
Yeah, it just blows it in his face.
And it's like, damn, so we know what's going to... I'm thinking, well, obviously Dude Man was exaggerating because they're not going to kill Gordon right here. But Gordon's going to be incapacitated. But
didn't he also imply that some people would just end up in the asylum, or they were like instantly crazy, or is that something else that Beekman was talking about?
He said like the drug fries your brain.
Okay.
I'm like, they're not going to do Gordon like that.
I mean, I guess if you can't handle the hallucinations,
maybe. But I just had a feeling that they weren't going to kill him, or it was going to be
safe money is on Gordon not dying. So Gordon is tripping out on Red Queen right now,
and we'll get into that.
Yeah, because that's something crazy all in and of itself.
Right. But while that is going on...
Bullock and the captain are interrogating the guard that basically took the bribe to walk away, that allowed Tetch to come into the precinct and steal the sister's body.
Right.
And the guards, just like, oh, I don't know, man, like, you can't make me talk. And the captain just rage chokes the guy.
Goes commish on him.
Yeah, he goes all commish on him. And Bullock's like, oh man, Captain.
I thought I was the bad guy here.
I thought I was the bad cop. It was funny.
But the man spouts off, though. He gives him shit.
Right away. He was like, listen, I don't want no trouble.
I'm not trying to get, beat up like this to shield up in here. Like,
and it was just like some vague information. Do you remember what the guy said as far as like what he saw?
He told him it was like Tweedledum or like Tweedledee or whatever. Came in, like, gave him a couple, gave him some money and told him to take the night off.
Oh, okay, yeah, so they...
And that he wouldn't get in trouble because the cops would be so busy trying to get the city straight.
Yeah, how did they find out that he was going after the founders?
Oh, yeah, because of the he said he was in a catering truck.
Oh, okay, yeah, because that puts us next with Tetch, where he's dosing wine glasses for the founders' dinner.
Right.
And, while he's doing this, we have the Penguin being approached by Catherine, the council lady.
Yeah, try to get Bruce and got the clone Bruce.
Yeah, got clone Bruce, and she's like, we'll be in touch when the time is right. And
bounces out, at the right time for her.
Yeah, right time for her, because as soon as Penguin sits down at the table, all hell breaks loose, because in comes Tetch.
His, goons coming guns blazing.
No doubt, and they're like, yo, I got some wine for y'all to taste, and y'all gonna taste it.
And then that's when the
GCPD roll in.
And the commish, the captain, really gives it to Tetch.
Oh, yeah.
But
pistol whips the hell out of him.
He pistol whips him and, is cracking him, but his, powers emerge, or the virus starts to emerge in his face, and Tetch can see it.
And he's like, oh, in a crazy-ass rhyme, he's like, oh, is that my sister in you I see?
Yeah, and that just makes them even more mad or whatever. He tries to calm down, but
just gets him again with the pistol.
And, the Mad Hatter's sitting there cackling and whatnot. So I guess to him, his little thing is, complete.
Well, he's gotten some kind of win.
Yeah.
Because that's chaos in the world now. And it's funny, because it's Tetch rolls in, and then the GCP rolls in. It's almost like a turducken.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so we don't get to see anything go down crazy like that. Then, throughout all this, we have Bruce.
Yeah, young pimpin'.
Yeah, getting the bachelor's degree.
Right. Yeah, my man is sitting there, cooking this little girl a meal. I'm sorry.
A little horribly, or at least amateurish, because there was so much shit all over that kitchen.
He had all kinds of shit going on, and you're fixing this bitch like a fancy-ass meal. Dude, this bitch be happy with a cheeseburger, man. She is not no high-class girl, just because she steals from high-class motherfuckers. And I'm sorry, Selena, she called him out talking about he got money and shit. Bitch, you got money. You got money because you steal from rich people. So you got money. You choose to live on the streets or there. You go.
You think she's really got it like that?
I think she got anything she wants, because she'll just go steal from somebody and then use that money and go get it. So I don't think she's struggling for nothing. But
she stands him up.
Yeah. Well, yeah, she essentially says, well, this dude spent way too much time preparing this meal, and Alfred's all making fun of him and whatnot, and, he looks at Alfred. I thought he was going to tell him, Alfred, you need to dress a little bit more appropriately but he told him basically, make him, you need to get on out. He's, oh, don't worry, I'll make myself scarce. So, she's supposed to be there, and she ain't there, and basically shows up, hours late. But what little Bruce don't understand, he gets all ignorant with her, and, like, he's mad, and it's like, if this is gonna work between us, and she's like, this us thing is weird, and he's like, yeah, I know, it's weird to me, too, and all that bullshit, but you're lucky that little girl even came, because she, like, I'm not saying she's a hoe, but she's a thief. Like, she got other shit going on. She ain't worried about, like, keeping her word with you and whatnot.
Well, also at the same time where it's like, didn't she say something along the lines of...
Things came up?
I'm not late?
No, she was late as hell.
Well, no, I know she was late, but didn't she say something along the lines of she wasn't late?
Nah, I just think she said she had other things came up.
Oh, okay.
Or whatever, like... But, yeah, she was late as hell. And, like, but he got realized he's lucky she showed up at all.
Honestly. Yeah, so that just kind of well...
The Oswald and...
Yeah, because we do touch on Oswald and... Edward and the jealousy between Oswald and Isabel.
Isabel?
Isabel.
I kept wanting to call her Kristen. Kristen, the Kringle chick so much. But, yeah. Like, so... We thought this dude was going to have her killed.
I honestly was ready to put money down. I would have been like, yeah, 80%, and they went for the 20.
Yeah.
They went for the 20, and I...
Because, like, you know, then...
You know,
because and Isabel wound up spending the whole night together.
The whole night. Like, Edward even goes, oh my god, it's 6 o'clock already in the morning?
In the morning. So,
like the sun's coming up?
They have, like, a little quick kiss, and they, you know, they're obviously in love. And, you know, love at first sight.
Yeah, kind of thing.
And
the chemistry was strong.
Yeah, he tells her to be at the mansion at 8, you know, for dinner. And, you know, he runs off to the Penguin at the house saying, oh, I want to file a missing persons report.
He was drawn. He's like, I know you gotta wait 24 hours, but it's been 12 hours.
I'm the mayor. And, you know, Nigma comes in, and he just runs over and just embraces him like, oh, I'm so worried.
Yeah, and then, like, not even a hesitation. Oh, I've met someone. And it's like... You know, he apologized. He was like, yeah, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I lost track of time. I met someone. And he's like, I really like her. And Oswald...
I think I'm in love.
Oswald is not happy.
The look on his face is just like, damn. Like, he's just heartbroken. Like, not necessarily heartbroken, but just angered. Like, what?
Yeah. Like, how dare you?
Yeah, like, how dare she?
How dare she?
Yeah, like, take my man or whatever. And, so, basically, he, like, finds out she works at the library, and he goes and, like, talks to her.
That's when I was like, oh, she's done.
Dead.
As soon as Edward gives him the information, it's like, oh, she's a librarian. I was, no.
Right. But, you know, Penguin goes and visits her, and instead gives up all kinds of dirt on Nigma.
So much. She's like, oh, he's been in the asylum.
He killed people.
Yeah.
She's all like,
you look a lot like the girl he killed.
She's all like, what, I think people go there to murder people. He's like, well, I'm not one to gossip, but, and he mouths, yes.
He's like, yeah. Oh, it was pretty dirty though. It was some backstabbery.
But come to find out,
she's totally cool with it.
She's all right with it because she's love at first sight with this dude or whatever.
Yeah, she's like, I'm willing to give it a shot. She's like, I'm definitely scared of you, but I really like you. Yeah. It's like she's ready for the conjugal visits.
Right. When,
she's right in the prison for marriage.
Right. And, you know, that just blows up in Penguin's face all
Yeah, because he walks in, he's all excited. Oh, Edward, oh, blah, 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 we got some mighty things to do, and... Oh, hey. Oh, I'm really tired, I'm just gonna go to bed. It's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, because at the founders' dinner, like, what? What does he think he's gonna do? Because after...
Yeah, because he was going to gab to Edward about the councilwoman, Catherine, I'm sure.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Yeah.
And the fact that probably the whole incident with Tetch running in, you know?
Yeah, but...
You know, that was a whole...
What kind of plans would he have after that?
Oh, as far as how to get his hands on who? The plan would just be to somehow find out more about this councilwoman and the council itself, I feel like.
And just talk about what happened with Tetch.
Yeah, because there's no... Tetch is in the hands of the PD.
Yeah, there's no
and
endgame with
there's
that.
no real negativity between him and the council right now, other than curiosity on his part. You know? The council said they were watching him for a while, but...
So we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, and then...
But basically...
that's...
that would take us back to Gordon's little trip.
Wow.
So Gordon basically trips out on the Red Queen and winds up on this elevator with Barbara Keene.
Yeah, buddy.
And, like, she's, like, taking him from floor to floor through his, like, I guess, psyche. And on each floor, she's wearing, like, different outfits, and, yeah, she's looking real good. And
yeah, she's almost his tour guide to his whole hallucination.
Yeah, through his little spirit walk, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. But it's weird because... at first he's like running around trying to find Bruce Wayne, because he's like, there's not much time, and he's like, what do you mean there's not much time? He starts running after him, and all of a sudden he falls into a trench, and he's in a trench with the Penguin, and they're under fire.
Yeah.
And he's just like, where did he go? Where did Bruce go? And the Penguin just starts kind of humming to himself, acting real weird.
Mm-hmm.
And he climbs out of the trench, and he's like on this like catwalk, and he sees Bruce, and Bruce is wearing a mask, and I feel like the mask is supposed to look like Gordon. Is that what you got?
I mean, it
didn't look like Gordon,
but it looked like it could have been Gordon.
It looked like it could have been Gordon. If it's not Gordon, I don't know who it is.
Yeah.
But he's like, oh, so what's going on? And you said there's not much time. It's like, oh, I just wanted you to follow me. Like some weird cryptic shit.
Yeah.
For what? To look over here. And he looks down, and he sees all these bodies, but all the bodies are represented in different times, it felt like.
No, it just looked like the GCPD. Like...
Well, no, because some were the GCPD, some flashed back to where it was like military.
Oh, yeah, yes, you're right.
And then, like, some others, like, flashback to, like other stuff that was going on. I don't know. It just seemed like a lot of death and carnage. And it's like, oh, yeah, you're responsible. And that was confusing.
But then the last one... not the last one, but the next one was, the next floor he went, and he actually had, like, a family.
Yeah, with Lee.
And he had kids, and everything, talking about getting dogs.
Yeah, he looked so happy.
He wanted that one to be real.
He knew it was fake, and he was like, I'm ready to roll with this.
I'm riding this one out.
Let's make this last as long as possible.
And it was taken from him, and he's sitting there trying to, like, choke out the psyche Barbara or whatever. Like.
Yeah. And then she just smashes a glass on the elevator railing and then holds it to his neck. And it's like, we can do this the hard way.
Right.
But, you need to calm down. And he does, and then they delve deeper. And, he talks about how he wants Lee, but he can't have her because there's something going on with some sort of connection with Barbara. Like, we don't know what that is. Or maybe it's kind of like the one he doesn't want, but it's always there.
Yeah.
So, and it's just kind of messing with his head. But eventually, Barbara gives Gordon a key. And is like, you're going to need this.
Or don't.
Oh, use it or don't?
Yeah, that's what she said.
See, I'm wondering what it means, like if he... Oh, maybe... Okay, well, I don't know, because then he walks out and he's like in the middle of a street, like nothing's going on. It's real dark, you know. You can really only see what's going on around this one street light, and you know it's a guy, and it's weird because he's looking at his hand like he's trying to pull something out of his pocket. But his hand doesn't go into his pocket. He's just constantly looking at his hand. But his hand has what looked like red sand just falling through his fingers.
Oh, yeah.
Like, constantly. Like, every time he looked at his hand, it was just red sand. It was so weird. And, you know, it was obvious he's looking for a car key. And you're just like, oh, well, who's this guy? So Gordon walks over. He's like, oh, you looking for this? I think you need this. I think it's your key.
Right.
And he turns... And he's like, oh, thanks, man. I'm always losing that thing. And it's his dad.
Son. Yeah, I think he said thanks, son. Or something like that. Like, he knows it's his son or whatever. He knows it's...
Gordon's like, Dad? What? So they end up going on a car ride, and they're having this, like, heart-to-heart. And, you know, Gordon's like, I don't know what's going on with me. You know, I'm lost kind of thing. And his dad goes, well, I mean, you don't remember the Gordon Code? And he's like, the Gordon Code? You know, and he's just like, yeah, the code we live our lives by. You know, the Gordon Code. You know, it's like their family motto.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, he can't remember, but, you know, he needs to. So, right around this time, he ends up being, I guess... woken up or revived by Mario, and he's in the hospital. You know, I guess he defibrillated him, or he gave him like some steroid or something. And as Mario's kind of like telling him what's going on and what happened, you know, hey, you're okay, Gordon notices he's got a Band-Aid on his neck. And I'm only making mention of it because it seems very trivial.
Yeah.
But when they did it, it was like they zoomed into it. It was like, and I'm like, whoa, he's got a Band-Aid. Like, what? Did he get bit by a vampire? I don't get it. Like, what?
Who bites people?
What's the relevance?
Right.
Because we didn't see Tetch loading up any needles, right? We only saw him, you know, dosing the wine. So I don't know what's going on with that. But. You know, after he gets out of the hospital, Gordon goes back and he rejoins the GCPD. And the captain is... You can tell he's ecstatic. He's like, yo, you know, we've had our differences, but you're a good dude. I could really use your help.
He's like, and if you want, because he kind of made a point of it earlier, that's the whole reason why, like, Gordon was trying to do this by himself. Like, you're either with us or you're not. Like, you're not going to be interfering in our... investigations anymore or anything like that. Like, as a matter of fact, I'll be escorted out of here.
Yeah.
So, like, it's good for Gordon, it's good for the GCPD, for sure.
And then, I don't know where he went searching. Do you recall where he went searching for the ring?
Oh,
like, where did he end up finding, like, was it in his house, old effects, or was it somewhere in the GCPD?
I'm not sure.
Because I didn't catch it. But he ends up finding a ring that belonged to his dad.
Right.
And he reads the inscription on the face of the ring, and it's some other language.
Okay.
I believe it's a different language, probably Latin or something, or it might not have been and I just heard it that way. But it's supposed to mean, while we breathe, we shall defend. I'm pretty sure that's what he said, but yeah, it's a cool motto. But now, do you think that's the life code? Because the next scene was we see this shadowy figure sitting down with Catherine, the council lady, right? So you got to assume this guy's the head of the council, and they talk about, you know, a judgment is coming, and you know it's. They also talk about how they've been keeping a watch on Penguin, you know, once a criminal, always a criminal, and how they're going to keep close tabs on him. But when they kind of pan out, they show that shadow figure is wearing the same ring that Gordon pulled out of his dad's effects. So what do you think that means?
I'm not sure about,
like the fact that the shadow figure is wearing the same kind of ring.
Because when I first watched it, I wasn't really paying that much attention, and I thought it was the exact same ring. Like, oh, that's his dad. So that means it's an associate of his dad, and his dad used to be part of that council. Like, when he was talking to him in the car, even though it was his ghost dad, he was still like, look, man, you had this vision of me because I let you have this vision of me, like, where you only knew about, me coming home and playing ball with you, but I got dirt too. I just don't let it affect me.
Yeah.
So part of that dirt was him being part of that council.
Okay, so Gordon is somehow part of, like, the old families of Gotham?
And probably unbeknownst to him.
Yeah? Or at least on his father's side?
Yeah, or maybe on the mother's side, and, like, the dad got, like...
sworn in?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so it's going to be... but now, do you think the whole, we shall... while we breathe, we shall defend, do you think that's the Gordon code that his dad was talking about, or do you think that's just what's written on the ring and that's what the council's motto is, not necessarily the Gordon code, and that's something for him to find out later?
We'll see if that dude's ring has the same inscription.
Well, I mean, I would assume it did.
Maybe they each had their own inscription, like for their own family names or whatever.
Oh, because they all represent different families of... Okay, that's a good point.
Maybe,
Yeah, that's definitely a good point. Alright, well, I mean, this was all quite elaborate, it feels like.
Yeah, this is definitely an intricate episode with a lot going on.
There's so much bouncing back and forth to try to, like, decipher what was going on in each little storyline.
Yeah, but I think we put it together pretty good for you guys. Tell us what you think. What was your favorite part of the episode? What did you think of, like, Gordon's little trip there?
That trip, I thought it was pretty crazy.
It was pretty wild, but, like, share, subscribe. Remember, it's on MOPO.